Miles Hussein knows quite well, was in attendance in Chicago yesterday, Wednesday, for the draft combine. I'm going to play some audio from this gentleman because the visual part of it was the on-court action. There was no point of having that. So you're going to hear some comments from Houston Cougar head coach Kelvin Sampson. He's talking to the guys on the panel, but the first question is about Houston's incoming freshman class. So it's not video, it's audio, because I don't want to get my hand slapped from Big Brother and have the video content posted on this show. But you can hear what Coach Sampson said about Houston's incoming freshman class. Check it out.
Well, roster construction is something that Seth Greenberg often talks about on air. You guys are once again looked at it in the college basketball landscape as one of the favorites to get back to a Final Four and potentially a national championship. Your roster, though, will look very different. Yeah. You're bringing in 3 very, very talented freshmen that some of them have the potential to be one-and-done guys and be out on this floor next year going through the measurements and the jump. How do you bring those young guys up to speed with the way that you do things? As you say, we don't run plays, we execute plays. So how do you get those young guys up to what you need, Coach?
Yeah, I think the answer I just gave for the players, I think applies to me and our staff too. We don't change a whole lot from year to year. We try to keep our blade sharp and get better where we see we can. But our culture is our culture. June will be a come to Jesus month. Those 3 freshmen, but it'll be better in July, better in August. But guys like Emmanuel Sharp and JoJo Tugler, Mercy Miller, Ramon Walker, Cordell Jefferson. We got a bunch of kids returning. That's going to be these guys' best friends. I mean, they'll tell them how to navigate some of the bends in the river and where the landmines are to stay away from, and what to read and what not to read. But I get so excited about that. When you guys played, basketball practice started in the fall.
Yep.
But we had a team meeting, staff meeting the other day, and I reiterated some things I want to do in June. And I said, let's get excited about this. Our season starts Monday, June 2nd. We'll have a team meeting Sunday night, June 1st. Practice starts. We'll have our strength coach. We'll have them out with conditioning. We'll come back and do weight training, individual workouts, position workouts, and on Fridays we'll do a team workout. And the NCAA allows us to do 8 out of the 10 weeks of summer school, so it's here already.
Coach, one of your prize freshmen, I know a couple of them pretty well, but Chris and and I asked him, you ready for Coach Sampson? He said, yeah. And I said, okay. Now, let me tell you, you're not ready for Coach Sampson yet. You will be fine. But when you think about guys like Chris, and Chris has admitted, he needs you.
Yeah.
He needs the way that you coach. He needs your system because he wants to get to where his name is being called early next year in June.
Yeah.
What is it that you do for guys like a Jarris Walker who needed you?
Yeah.
What can you do for Chris and Ack who needs you? And they admit they need you. What do you do for those guys?
Well, Kingston Flemings, Isaiah Harwell, and Chris all come from great parents. Chris has a great mom and dad. And as much as we chose Chris chose us too. And for the reasons you talked about, Cory, I think it's helping them set standards for themselves. Like I'm going to set a standard for myself every day, and I'm not going to dip below that standard. And I expect them to come and meet my standard every day. And coaches out there have heard me say these things a million times, but there's 3 people that can never have a bad practice: the head coach, the point guard, and your best player. And for those 3 people to show up, if you want to be the best player, okay, well, here's what it takes. If you want to be the point guard, this is what it takes. The head coach, obviously, he's got to have the right mindset too. But Milos this time last year, he wasn't quite sure whether he was on foot or horseback half of June either, but he figured it out. But again, our culture is not driven by me as much as the returning players. Prior to this year, I think we'd had 3 kids transfer in the last 10 years, which is unbelievable in this day and age. 3 kids transfer in 10 years. That was in our in our top 10 players. So I probably get too much credit for the culture, and the players don't get enough. Our players will help Chris and Kingston and Isaiah navigate those waters as well.
Although I will say it starts at the top.
Yes.
And an incredible season for Coach Kelvin Sampson. Coach, we really appreciate the time today.
Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
Head coach of the 2-time Big 12 regular season champions and the Big 12 tournament champions this past season, Kelvin Sampson.
There you go. Some comments from head coach Kelvin Sampson from the NBA's 2025 NBA Draft Combine, talking about the freshmen